Yeah, so a very good morning, everybody. I think we have a lot of intellectual power in this room that can definitely influence the, so a very automotive uh, industry and as well as the automotive supply chain. So with this, we should set right as Mr. Chabra said in his inaugural speech, wherein we should be setting a path for the next 10 years where we want to go. And definitely getting to the third or the top exporters of auto components is a target for India. And our government has set up a target for 100 billion by 2030. So 2030 is not very far away. But where do we stand now? We are somewhere between 22.9 billion US dollars is what we are exporting, and which is only 3% of the overall, the market, the component market that is there. So there is a long way to go. But what do we have to do to get there, to get to this 100 billion quantity? One, yes, I think we are talking about clusters. Clusters are very important, very useful. But somewhere we need to make a slight transition with respect to the clusters. Today, we are talking about clusters more from a real estate point of view, a geographical location point of view. But I think we should be looking at clusters as capability clusters. When I say capability, what does it mean? It means it's just not co-locating yourself. When I say yourself, it's OEMs with the Tier 1 and Tier 1 suppliers. Predominantly, these are the Tier 1 suppliers who are co-located, of course, facilitated by the logistics service providers. But what we also need here is the co-location of Tier 2s, Tier 3s. More importantly, tool makers. We have, and maybe common facilities for shared facilities for labs, CMMs, testings, R&D facilities. If these are then, this becomes a capability cluster. So a capability cluster not only improves in, decreasing the cost, but it also improves in decision making and very quick new product development. That is what is also the requirement of the day. That's the point number one in terms of looking at where do we go, where do we go that extra mile for that cluster capability. Second thing is on of course, the supplier performance index, as already mentioned. Supplier performance index, it's very important to have a common measure across all our suppliers. Why? Because otherwise the suppliers, the Tier 1s, Tier 2s are being pulled into multiple directions, and we are not able to channelize our energies and efforts to be excellent in a certain direction. So it is important for us to be able to have a common supplier performance index. Of course, we all have measures on quality, cost, and delivery. These are given any day. But I think what today, globally, we are looking at sustainability, the maturity of a supplier in terms of sustainability. And what we should add in India specifically is on the digital maturity. I think today we are still stuck with Excel files and firefighting through Excel files. I think we should be looking at digital maturity where we have a common interface between the OEMs and the Tier 1s. And we should be able to get that visibility into Tier 2s and Tier 3s as well in this developed clusters, capability clusters, if I may call them. And then third thing is the government and industry partnership, especially on skill development and infrastructure, and of course simplified logistics, which is also, I think, recently Mr. Gadkari has already given a statement that he would want to bring it down to a single-digit logistics cost by simplifying logistics. But I think we should also be looking at skill development and also the infrastructure development. Infrastructure, when I say it, is just not the real estate part of it, but we are looking at common facilities like an R&D facility, a training center, which is also co-located in the cluster. These are things. So I think this should be the right, the ingredients that we need in India to be able to achieve this 100 billion component exports that we have. While China has given us the scale of supplies, and Thailand has given the cost, India could be a country where we have resilient supply chains, because today I think no matter what is the cost, we are still struggling to get the components from various locations, and it is not very simple, So India has the unique opportunity to be the most resilient supplier for components. And we are definitely, the advantage that we have on the software side, we should be able to utilize that to be a technology-enabled supplier of components. Sustainability is something that everybody, the bandwagon, everybody is catching on. We should be able to take that and lead that. Of course, we are one of the leading countries in terms of sustainable initiatives as well. So we need alignment across OEMs, suppliers, logistic players, and of course the government as well, to be able to achieve this dream that we have. And that should be possible by 2030.
Thank you.